Okay, so this is my 29-week pregnancy update. I'm a couple of days late in posting, but this is everything that happened between week 28 and 29. And it's my first one, and I'm really gutted about that, to be honest. I wish that I'd done this from the start. And it's pregnancy number 8, and I look back now and I wish I'd had more documentation, more bump pictures, more everything really of all of my pregnancies and births and that sort of thing, because once it's gone you never get it back. And even from this pregnancy there's things that have happened and I just can't remember when, like, which week they were or how long they lasted. And I mean, to be fair, the first 16 weeks I was probably so sick that I wouldn't have physically been able to do an update anyway. I just know that I had 16 weeks of hell. It was an absolute nightmare. But I might at some point try and do like a first trimester, second trimester type thing, and then for this third trimester try and do one like weekly as an update. Like I say, just not even for everyone else but just for myself. I just wanted to be able to look back and see, and if it helps anybody else along the way or whatever else, then obviously that's great. But yeah, so everything between week 28 and 29, and from week 29 to week 30 I'm going to try and make some notes, because this is literally just what I can think of off the top of my head, because it's something I've only really just decided to do. But the first thing is I've started waking up again in the night for the toilet, which is really annoying, because a few weeks ago I was waking up every single night having to get up and go for a wee, and that had seemed to settle down, and I was like, oh brilliant, perfect, like I'm back to getting a full night's sleep. And over the last week I'm back to having to get up again to go to the toilet in the night. And I don't know about anyone else, but if you're this stage of pregnancy, I'm really uncoordinated, so I kind of like crawl out of bed like a drunk person and then have to hold onto the wall as I make my way out of my bedroom until I find my balance and coordination. And yeah, so I'm back to getting up to go to the toilet, which is really annoying. Baby is lovely and active, so that's really nice. I wouldn't say I've got a particular pattern, but it does go crazy when I eat. So the baby clearly loves food like his mum, his or her mum. Yeah, he goes mental when I eat, and generally when I get into bed or when I lay down of an evening it goes like crazy then. But it does like wake up a few other times in the day. It's quite an active baby. My third baby, she was really unactive. Like she was and she's very relaxed now actually, but she was, for my whole pregnancy, like I would sometimes only feel her move like once or twice a day, and it was never really worried me because that was normal for her. Like she had never been an active baby. But yeah, this one is quite active, so it's probably going to be another one at Lockie that's just constantly on the go. And the biggest thing I've really noticed, especially this week, is I'm feeling full up very, very quickly. I think my appetite has dropped a bit anyway, which I think is related to being a bit anemic. So obviously I've had to have an iron transfusion because my body doesn't absorb iron from iron tablets. So I've been really, really wiped out, and I think that has had an effect on my appetite. But I'm finding that even when I am eating, I'm having to, sorry, my storage was full then. I really need to go back through my camera or upload from my phone. Like I've got tons of pictures on there that I need to either get rid of or check that I've uploaded them or whatever else, so I need to do that. But yeah, anyway, I was just saying I'm feeling really full up really quickly, and I find if I eat a full-size meal, like I'm hungry enough to eat it, but then afterwards I feel so full and uncomfortable, and I have a load of Braxton Hicks, and it's just so uncomfortable. I feel like, I don't know if it's the food or the baby, but it's like right up under my ribs, and I'm just so uncomfortable that I then regret eating a full-size meal. So I'm going to go to eating smaller more often rather than like your main meals and then snacking in between. I just need to pace myself a little bit more because it's just so uncomfortable. So I've been pretty tiny up until now, which is normal in my pregnancies. I'm always small for a long time and then all of a sudden just pop. And in the last week I have noticed that that bump is definitely starting to pop out. So I really think in the next week or two I'm going to have a really good formed bump, which I'm really looking forward to having a proper bump, because obviously my last few babies have been born prematurely, and not knowing at any time when this baby could come, I really want to enjoy having a bump before before the baby arrives. So with Logan, I delivered before I even had a proper bump, and I felt robbed of that part of pregnancy. So I really want to have a bump that I can embrace. All I do need to get some new clothes ready for when I get this proper bump, so I'm going to need to do an online order soon. I think that is pretty much everything for week 29, but I'll be back next week with week 30, and if you're at a similar stage of pregnancy, then let me know if you're having any of the same experiences.